Imagine a bright sunny morning, flowers blooming, gardens alive, and bees gently buzzing from one blossom to the next. Bees, tiny, fragile creatures we hardly notice, working endlessly to keep nature alive. Now, picture this. Tomorrow, every single bee on Earth suddenly vanishes. At first, you might think, good, no more stings. But the truth? Without bees, our world would quickly unravel. The sky glows with sunlight. A garden is alive with colors, yellow daisies, purple lavender, red roses. And floating above them, bees. They move tirelessly, drifting from one flower to another, tiny golden bodies carrying life on their backs. Most of us barely notice them. At best, we hear their buzzing. At worst, we swept them away. But these small creatures, fragile as they seem, carry the weight of the world on their wings. Now, imagine this. Tomorrow morning you wake up, step into that same garden, and the bees are gone. No buzz, no movement, just silence. At first you might smile and think, good, no more stings. But that silence would mark the beginning of something far more dangerous. Bees are not just insects. They are farmers of the natural world. Every day, without pay, without thanks, they keep our food supply alive. Out of 100 major crops that feed humans, about 75 depend directly on pollination. That means 3/4 of what we eat exists because bees do their job. Think about it. No apples in fall. No strawberries in summer. No mangoes dripping with juice in the heat. Vegetables like cucumbers, onions, pumpkins, gone. Your morning coffee, finished. Your favorite chocolate, a memory. Even cotton for your t-shirts and bed sheets depends on bees. Everywhere you look, from your breakfast plate to your closet, bees are working silently, making life possible. Without them, the comfort of modern life begins to unravel. The first months without bees would seem strange. Apple orchards bloom in spring, but no fruit grows in summer. Strawberry plants stretch across fields, but the berries never form. Pumpkin vines flower, then shrivel and die. Go to the supermarket. The bright rainbow of fruits and vegetables begins to fade. Where once there were piles of fresh produce, now there are empty gaps. The shelves look sad, filled only with what little survives without bees. And then the prices climb. What's left becomes rare. An apple costs 5 times more than before. Blueberries are for the wealthy. Coffee disappears from morning routines. Food, once taken for granted, becomes a luxury. For the first time in history, billions of people realize how fragile the system really is. But the collapse doesn't stop at the store. It spreads into the wild. Imagine meadows, once full of wildflowers, turning dull and lifeless. Grasslands fade. Forests weaken. Trees bearing fewer seeds and fruits. And animals begin to struggle. Birds, who relied on berries, fly further and further searching for food, finding none. Bears, once roaming forests for fruit and honey, face hunger. Smaller creatures starve, and with them, predators lose their meals. The loss of bees ripples outward, from fields to forests to entire ecosystems. Nature, once balanced, begins to tilt dangerously. Walk through a forest in this world without bees and the silence is haunting. No buzzing in the air. No flowers blooming along the path. Trees stand tall but bare. Meadows are empty, their colors wash away. Empty beehives hang like abandoned houses, once alive with sound, now ghostly. The chain of life, built over millions of years, begins to break. Plants vanish first, then animals follow. The food chain collapses link by link. And humans are not watching from the outside. We are part of it. What nature loses, we lose too. And then, the disaster reaches every home. Families sit at dinner tables with nearly empty plates. Meals that once overflow with fruits and vegetables are reduced to bread, rice, and a few hardy crops. Children grow up never knowing the taste of strawberries, apples, or chocolate. Entire cultures lose foods that were once central to their identity. On the world map, hunger spreads like a shadow. Poorer nations collapse first, but even wealthy countries cannot escape. Farmers stand in fields of dust, helpless, watching their crops fail. The disappearance of bees has become more than an environmental issue. It is now a human survival crisis. And then comes the global economic shock. Newspapers scream, global food prices skyrocket. Stock markets plunge. Agriculture, once a pillar of wealth, falls apart. The United Nations estimates that pollinators like bees add more than $500 billion to the world economy every year. Without them, that value evaporates. Protests erupt in cities. Crowds demand food, demand answers. Governments struggle to maintain order. And as nations grow desperate, wars over food and fertile land may not just be possible, they may be inevitable. The silence of bees has become the roar of global chaos. Could we replace bees? Scientists think so. In labs, robotic bees are designed, tiny machines with wings, buzzing across test fields. In some regions, farmers attempt hand pollination, climbing ladders with brushes, moving pollen one flower at a time. But look at the scale. Billions of bees, working tirelessly in forests, fields, mountains, and deserts, day and night, cannot be replaced by a few machines or by human labor. Technology may help, but it cannot match the perfection of nature. Without bees, we may never truly recover. But there's hope, because bees are still here. We can change this story by planting wildflowers, by reducing harmful pesticides, by protecting the habitats where bees live. Even small actions, a garden in your backyard, a patch of flowers in your city, can bring bees back. Picture it. Children planting seeds, fields bursting with color, and the sound of buzzing filling the air again. Bees returning to flowers. Nature healing. When bees thrive, ecosystems thrive. When ecosystems thrive, humans thrive. The truth is simple. Saving the bees means saving ourselves. So the question is not what if bees disappear? The question is what will we do today to make sure they never do? In the end, we are reminded that every part of nature is a gift, perfectly balanced and designed with purpose. Bees may be small, but their role is immense. A reminder that even the tiniest creatures carry the power to sustain life. For this delicate system, and for the chance to live in such a world, we must be grateful to God, the creator of all things. Let us cherish his blessings, care for what he's entrusted us with, and remember that protecting the bees is not just about saving insects. It's about honoring the gift of life itself.